It's Lukas from the S2 Live Show, and I'm here with the third episode of our Christmas menu. My brother's taking care of the roast and of the gravy, and I'm taking care of the sides and of the dessert. So right now we're going to do the sides. In this case, it's two traditional German or Austrian variations. So it's like a potato dumpling, and it's also red cabbage, very sweet red cabbage. They both taste amazing, are very easy to prepare. So enough talking, let's get started with the cooking. So I'm going to start with the red cabbage. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to heat on a medium heat. We're going to heat 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then adding in 1 big diced onion. And then we're just going to let it cook for a while, about 5 to 6 minutes, until it gets translucent and it starts to sweat. And then we're going to add 1 red cabbage cut into thin stripes, thin slices. And also 2 apples that I cut into small cubes. And then we're adding all of the rest as well. So that's about half a liter of red wine. And if you're making this for children at Christmas, just use grape juice. It also works great. And then I'm also adding in 2 or 3 tablespoons of balsamico vinegar, which gives it a really nice acidic flavor. And also, of course, the spices. And for this, I ground in my mortar and pestle. I use the mortar and pestle in order to ground a couple of cloves. So that's about 6 cloves, 4 cardamom pods, and also 5 pieces of allspice. Just ground them very thin into like a nice mixture and then add it to the cabbage, and also 3 laurel leaves. And then also, of course, you want to have that sweetened flavor, and some is going to come from the apple, but you want to add some sugar as well. So I add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and then you just mix it together and put it on low heat, low to medium heat. So we have a scale from 0 to 9 on our stove. So I'm using 4 or like 3 plus. And you're just going to let it simmer for 3 hours, preferably with the lid on. And then after 3 hours, around 3 hours, it's going to get very soft and smell amazing. And the interesting thing about this recipe is that when you let it cool down, on the 3rd day it actually tastes the best because it has absorbed all of the flavors pretty much. But now let's continue with the second Christmas side, which is potato dumpling. And dumplings are pretty famous in Europe, and I'm using the potato dumpling because it's super easy. It has only 4 ingredients. And what we're going to do is we're going to boil about 1 kilo of potatoes and then cool them off. You don't want to burn your hand. Put them in cold water for a couple of minutes, then peel them and just mash them either with a potato masher or with a fork. But don't grind them too thin. You don't want to have like potato puree or something. And then we're adding in the potato flour or potato starch. And usually when you take like 1 kilo of potatoes, it's going to be around 15 to 20% of that mass. So it's going to be around 150 or 200 grams of potato starch. Just add it in there, and then also a little bit of nutmeg, freshly ground nutmeg, 1 or 2 teaspoons of salt, of course, and then also add in slowly some water. So that's going to be around half a cup to 1 cup of water. So with the water, it depends on how much water your potatoes absorb. So be careful and start with just like half a cup first. Just see how the mixture develops, form it into a big dough. And if you notice that you need a little bit more water, then just trust your instincts. And then you can form small round dumplings from it, depending on the size that you want, to be honest. And then what we're going to do is we're going to heat about 1 to 2 liters of water to low medium heat. So it's not boiling for sure, it's somewhere around medium heat. And usually this is done with regular water or salt water, but I actually like to use vegetable stock because it just gives them a little bit more of an interesting flavor. So just add the dumplings in the water for about 20 minutes and then they should be done. They're ready to be served. So that's it, guys. You have 2 amazing, very traditional, at least here in Germany, very traditional Christmas sides, vegan style, that are super delicious, full of flavor. And if you want to learn more about the menu, we made a whole menu, which is pretty much 4 recipes. There's also a dessert coming. There's a roast, of course. You can check them out either here or here. I haven't decided yet. I'm going to put it later. And if you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And as always, thank you.